Hi guys, so what I'm doing here is I'm adding an oil cooler on my 352cc Big Red 1985 model, and I'm concerned about extra heat being updated to a 352cc. So I'm going to do a temperature comparison with an infrared gun. I'm going to try 15 minutes at 2000 RPM. I got a tachometer on here. I'm going to run it for 15 minutes, check the temperature, and then I'm going to install this oil cooler and then see if I'm actually gaining anything, any cooler temperatures. So here goes. I'll give it a shot. Okay, shut him down. Okay, I got 15 minutes here. I got around 400 degrees. Looks like 395. 15 minutes. I did run it at 4,000 RPM instead of 2,000. Muffler temperature at 536. The engine, this side is 323 degrees, 350, 325, 320. This side, I'm getting 375. 15 minutes at 4,000 RPM. It's pretty hot. 362, starting to cool down. But I got upwards of 400 degrees on this side. $357, $375. So I'll install the oil cooler and see if I get any changes. This side was running at 325 Fahrenheit, and the other side, the left side, was running around 395 in 15 minutes of running at 4,000 RPM. So the plan is to remove this hose line. I might bore it out just a hair, and one side of the oil cooler will be in, is going to be out. So just make one big loop, and it's supposed to only add about a quart of oil. So we'll give her a shot. So this is the size here of this drill bit, is about the size. This is the existing hole where the oil flows in. And this is how small this hole is. So I will widen this hole up to about the size where the top one is, so it allows more oil flow, because all that additional footage is going to cause a little bit more restriction on the system. So I'll make it a little bit easier and drill out this hole here on both of these little bolts. Hopefully it works out. I really don't know what I'm doing. Now both of these holes that I made are the same thickness as the existing ones on the bottom. So it's going to allow equal oil flow top and bottom. So now I expanded both orifices. So I've got the air cooler temporarily installed here with tie straps. I got stainless braided wire, 1/4 inch brass nipples, Prez-on nipples, 2 hose clamps. One is connected to the input already with 2 hose clamps. Now I'm going to purge the system. Just take out the spark plug wire. I'll crank it until it comes out. I added 1 quart additional oil, and we'll purge the system. Here I have a 700 Yamaha. It's water cooled. It is a modern engine. I'm going to compare the temperature running at 15 minutes. I'll try to rev it up like I did the other engine. So it looks like the water-cooled engine peaked at 195, just around 200 degrees. We got a little bit of radiating heat coming off the manifold here. But overall, I'm only getting around 200 degrees for the water-cooled 700. The exhaust, of course, is running at around 540 consistently. and it's staying at 540, and the engine stays stable around 200 degrees temperature. So that's a cool running engine. Okay, I have the oil cooler installed. The temperature of the engine is at 70 degrees. The oil cooler is at 70 degrees. Everything is tucked away with clamps. I temporarily routed these lines. I need to clean them up yet. I'll show you where I plumbed them in. Two hose clamps to assure I got no leaking, and the hose clamp for this is back here. The banjo bolt is, like I mentioned previously, has been bored out to a bigger size, and I saw the oil level went up, so I got part of the oil in the cooler has run back into the crankcase, so that all has to be pumped up again to the engine head. I'll start the engine, run it at 4,000 RPM. Midway through, I'll do some temperatures, and after 15 minutes we'll compare the temperatures that we had before the oil cooler. So here we go. Okay, 15 minutes. right off the bat, there is no significant changes. I would like to think it's a little bit cooler. According to the infrared gun, we're getting highs of 390, 370, 350, but overall it seems to be 380. I would like the crankcase is sitting around 230, the oil. Manifold is 536. That's been constant from the first 2 minutes. 530. The oil cooler inlet is 130, just like the crankcase. We are dissipating heat into a bigger area, that is no question. Is the engine running cooler? That's up for debate. It might be a little bit. I would like to think we're gaining maybe 15 degrees. This side is 319, 325. It's hard to get an average. This side again. Gosh, everywhere I point I'm getting a little bit of a different reading, but it's starting to cool down, but I would have guessed it's around 380, the average. So 10-15 degrees cooler at the most. This is the opposite side. I'm only getting 100 degrees, so it still has a lot of heat dissipation left. The intake line, 140 degrees. Now my camera shut down. So I'm not sure what to think. I'm certainly dissipating heat from the engine oil to the cooler. It's not very significant. Remember, it is not water cooled. It is just cooling. It's cooling down the oil temperature a little bit, and there's not a whole lot of oil flowing through that engine. It's just a little pinpoint stream, so no significant changes. It's going to have more oil in a reservoir, which is better, cleaner oil. Overall longevity of the engine, it should help a little bit. Nothing significant. So after 2 minutes already, the engine has cooled down considerably to a constant temperature of around 320. And that's exactly how it acted without the oil cooler. Not sure what to think. What do you guys think? Is it worth it? Maybe, maybe not.